Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be showing you guys how I maintain my kinky curly sew-in as a girl who suffers from dandruff and scalp psoriasis flare-ups. I just want to give a disclaimer that the products shown in this video are what work for me. They're not a medical solution, but they do help relieve the appearance of symptoms and help me feel more confident, so you can purchase all of them over the counter. So as always, proceed with your own caution, and I hope that this helps you. So I just washed my hair the day before I filmed this, so we're going to go over some wash day prep. For my hair extensions, I like to use Aussie Miracle Moist shampoo, and for my hair, I'll use the Shea Moisture Anti-Dandruff shampoo. This has salicylic acid in it, which is used to reduce inflammation and helps with flaking and itching. I like to deep condition bi-weekly, but for an everyday hair wash, I'll use the Aussie Miracle Moist conditioner, which is perfect for all hair types. My scalp psoriasis flares up around my hairline, so I like to use the Ordinary Glycolic Acid Exfoliating Toner. This has a nozzle on the top that you can use to apply directly to your scalp. The instructions say 3 times a week, so I like to use this every other day. To help soothe the rest of my scalp, I like to use a leave-in treatment. This one has tea tree oil and a whole bunch of other cooling botanicals, but it does have alcohol, so I like to make my own water mixture with cloves and rosemary, boil that up, strain it, and spray as needed. Alright, let's define these curls. So I'm using my favorite detangling brush. It's like a combination between the Denman brush and the unbrush. Works really well for me in terms of relieving tension. Then I'll section off the hair to start my LOC method. So LOC is the order of steps you take to lock in moisture. So you start off with liquid, you then go into an oil, like a serum, and then you'll end off with a conditioner. I found that this method works best for my kinky curly textures. Some people like to do LCO, which is liquid conditioner and oil. It's a preference thing, so whichever method you choose, the goal here is to moisturize your hair. I'm using my Continuous Mister spray bottle, and I'm not drenching sections of hair, but I do want to get it fairly wet so it starts curling up on its own, and I'll go in with my hands to work that moisture in and detangle a little bit. For oil, I'll use the ORS Heat Protectant Serum that has coconut oil in it. You can use this daily to seal in moisture, and I will be blow drying my hair later on when I style it, so I love that it's multi-purpose. For my hair that's left out around the sew-in, I'll use the Aussie Moist Intense Hydration Oil. I try to stay away from alcohols because I find that with an already dry scalp, it makes my hair super reactive, so there are a few ingredients in this product and I feel that it works great. I'll take the time to further detangle with my fingers when I put the oil in the hair. I find that it just makes my final product look so much more defined, and then I'll go in with the leave-in detangling milk by Aussie Miracle Curls. This one is made specifically for 3A to 4A textures. So I'll squeeze out a small amount. You really don't need a lot for every section, and then I'll work it in with my hands. Then I'll go in with my detangling brush just to make sure everything is defined and distributed evenly. Then I'll scrunch it and put it away. Repeat this process for the rest of the sections. I just want to say this video is not sponsored by Aussiemoisture. I just genuinely love their hair care line, especially for curly textures. It smells nice, it has a light formula that doesn't leave residue on my hair. It's pretty inexpensive, so I do like to use it on my extensions, but it also doesn't cause any unnecessary inflammation to my scalp, and my hair soaks it up, so I think their products are reliable. So we're on the final section. I just love the way that wet curly hair looks. I wish it would last, but the excessive amounts of gel are just not worth having an itchy scalp for. And I also love big curly hair, so just know this style doubles, triples in size when it's fully dry. Okay, now that my extensions are moisturized, I like to use oil to keep my hair underneath moisturized. So I've been testing out Beyonce's Sacred Restorative Hair and Edge Drops. I really like this applicator because it allows me to put product directly on my scalp. I can't really tell if there has been a big change in the growth of my hair, especially around my edges, because I've changed my hair routine since my hair is not in braids right now, so it could be a combination of both. This product is tried and true by many generations for hair growth. This is the Do Grow Mega Thick Formula Hair Oil. You can heat up this product to help absorb better in your hair, but I just love the nozzle, especially for underneath my braids when I have a sew-in. So I'll just make sure to massage that in. Then I'll use a boar bristle brush around my hairline. This helps to reduce frizz and distribute the oils that I just applied to my scalp and finish off this version of the style. You can leave it here as it is. The hair will dry on its own. You don't need to use any heat, but you should stick around to see how I style my favorite curly hair updo. This will be much easier to visualize and explain, but I like to section off two front portions of my hair from behind the ear. Then I'll use duck clips to clip out the back end of my hair before going in with a hair tie to connect the two sections towards the back. I also will use my boar bristle brush to smooth out my hair so that it looks even, put together, and it reduces frizz without the need for heat. Once you have that portion sectioned off, you can remove the duck clips from the rest of your hair, and then I like to tie the hair up into a high bun or a high ponytail. You can go over a lot of these sections with gel, but again, since I have my scalp condition, I don't like to use a lot of product because it adds to buildup and just makes my scalp itchy and dry. Once everything is smooth, grab a claw clip, flip your hair over and clip it up towards where you put your ponytail to make a higher bun. This literally elevates the look. Then I'll go in with my rat tail comb and just define my part, whether it's a middle or a side part. For my hair, on the daily, I like to use Murray's Edge Wax. It's easier to wash out, doesn't flake on me, and reduces buildup on my scalp. But for this style, I use the Baskin Lather Edge Control, which is one of the best products I've discovered for when I want my style to last several days. You don't need to reapply it as often because it is a stronger hold, but for my hair texture, for this product to essentially glue it down is unheard of. So for this style, I went ahead with that edge control. Tip for reactive scalps is to make sure you're cleaning your edge brushes after every use. This helps to reduce buildup and it gets rid of that white flashback that you can get from using old dry gel. I want this style to last, so I'm taking out my mulberry silk scarf to tie down my edges. This step is so crucial for if you want your hair to lay the whole day. I find that when I skip this step, my hair frizzes up so quickly regardless of what product I use. I'm going in with my Conair hair dryer with the curly hair diffuser on the lowest heat setting. I'm gonna finish drying off the bun that I have on top of my head. This step is completely optional. You don't have to use heat for this hairstyle. I'm only doing it so I can show you guys what the final product looks like, and I feel like it does look cuter when the hair is fuller and dry. So again, you don't have to do this. You can completely skip out on it and you will get the same results. I would say it takes about a full day to let the hair dry on its own before reaching maximum volume, but it's still so cute even when it's wet. I try to leave my hair wrapped for at least 10 to 15 minutes depending on when I have to leave the house, but whenever you unwrap your hair, you'll have the final look. This has been my favorite style for wash and go days. I find that it's just super quick, fairly easy if you're a beginner at styling kinky curly hair, and so cute, you guys. Wet or dry, it makes me feel like a princess. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. I hope this video was super helpful for anyone that was able to identify with some of the symptoms that I have. Leave a like if you enjoy these hair videos. It helps me create more for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!